Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. You just get Rich as a host today. Find me on X at FuzzDoomRip for now. We'll see how long I last on X at this point, but that's a whole other episode. You can find me at all my socials at rich.paiva and doing review to Musipedia of Metal, as well as a Doom Charts contributor. I'm very excited to have the band Temptress on. We had Christian on before when the announcement came out that the band signed to a new label, and now I'm lucky to have Andi and Kelsey, the whole trio. How are you guys doing today?
Hi. Doing great.
Excellent. So for those who might not know Temptress, I don't know what's wrong with you people, but you will learn and you will figure it out. But first of all, congratulations, number one. I said this to Christian, but for this guy's label, congratulations for signing with Blues Funeral. That is super cool. Can't wait to get my post-wax vinyl next year when I sign up for the subscription and whatever cool, crazy splatter it is. And you guys have a new record coming out in January called Here. So first off, Christian is a friend of the show, but Andi and Kelsey, can you guys introduce yourselves and let everybody know what you guys do in the band?
Go ahead, Andi.
Hey, I'm Andi. I'm the drummer in the band and also some vocals here and there. Yeah, Kelsey and I, we've known each other for a long time, and at this point, Christian and us too. Time has gone by so quick. We used to say, "Oh yeah, we've been friends for maybe a year or two," and now it's been like 15 years.
Andi, I was thinking about that earlier today.
I know.
It's been 10 years since I left home, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I started crying. I was like, "This is a crazy, crazy life." 10 years, met her. Joined her band, and then we just started going all across the country and just doing whatever we could to leave home. We were like, get out.
I had to catch myself and say, yeah, we've known each other for a few years. No, it's
been yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, and I'm Kelsey. I play guitar for Temptress and sing with Christian and Andi. And on this next record, I played synth, and I'm really happy about that. So.
I have questions about this. This is good. And people also might know Kelsey from Slumbering Sun and the new record, the record you put out called Starmy, which people love. I know there's a lot of people who have that record in their top 10 this year. You know who you are, who I've talked to, and very well deserved. So happy to talk to you. And Christian, how are you doing? How's everything going?
I'm well. I'm up here in North Carolina in the woods at my uncle's house. And
I forgot you were going there. I was like, where are you?
Yeah. That's a green screen, Andi.
This leads to another question, though. So you are labeled on the Bandcamp page as a Texas band. I know Christian is not necessarily a Texas resident any longer. So are you a North Carolina / Texas band, or are you a Texas band because 2 out of 3 are from the Lone Star State? What's the official word on location of where you guys are from?
Homeless band. We're about to be an even 3-state band.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to cover all of the coasts, and we'll have all the places to start tours. And we're just a band from the land, man.
Love it.
I feel like since we started in Dallas, it's easier to say Texas because that's where
we're the country too. It works.
We spend more time in all the other states of this country that we're just an American band.
There you go.
Yeah,
the next Grand Funk Railroad.
We're a highway band.
So I became very familiar with you guys through your 2023 record C, which I love and still play on the regular. The song Serpentine is constantly in my head for the last 2 years. It never leaves. So now this new record, like I said, I've had it for a couple of days and I've really dug into it. And number one, sonically, like the sound that you guys make is a lot bigger. And I assume that's on purpose. And also the other thing I notice is the songs are so short. They're practically Ramones songs for Temptress, right? These are like just quick bangers. A lot of them are. So I guess the first question is around kind of the sound and how you guys recorded and what's different compared to C for what we're going to get on here.
yeah, I guess we stopped. Well, we didn't really do the long, drawn out, doomy stuff. All of our styles change from like year to year, months to months, whatever. We did specifically want to write some bangers. And we wanted to really kind of, I wouldn't say break into mainstream, but just be a little more all across the board. Yeah. Personally, we really did want to do that. And me and Andi, we like kicked out all these songs, and it was a lot of fun. So.
And we definitely, you said the bigger sound, and I'm glad you said that, because that was a big goal of ours, because a lot of people that heard the first record after watching us play live so many times, they were like, it just doesn't, they were like, we love it, but it doesn't convey your big sound that you have live. So going into this album, that we kept that in the back of our minds, like, how do we achieve that? Like, because it's not something we thought about before until people started telling us. So that was something that was high priority for us, was like, let's translate the stage sound to an album.
Very cool. And mission accomplished. I mean, the sound is gigantic, especially for a trio. And Kelsey, you mentioned synths, and I think you can it kind of brings that kind of big sound to it. So how did you approach that? Was this something that you brought to the band and you're like, I think this would be a good sound? Was this a group discussion, or how did that happen?
Oh, well, really, we were exactly what Andi said. We were trying to capture how we play live and how we record more like how we play live. I also used a couple cabs, and then the mixing process was a lot different. And we used Jonathan Nunez from Torch, I believe. And he made us sound incredible.
Jad requested him because Jad had seen us live, and he was like, yes. I think this guy will really be able to capture your sound. So he gave us his info, and we talked, and we were really pleased with what he did. We're like, yeah, this is what we were looking for.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love how people... I'm sorry.
We took a bit of time with it and let some other people, let some of our friends that wanted to try it, and let multiple people, and we were lucky this time because we had multiple ears on it. We were able to hear other people's interpretation of it ahead of time. And Nunez definitely, he won the mixing battle, I guess you could say.
I mean, if you want something to sound big, Torch is a pretty good kind of, measuring stick for.
Absolutely.
So, some questions on the new record. Number one, I watched the video today, and Christian, was this? I might be getting my stories wrong. Was this the situation where you had no pants and you had to get pants for this, or was this something? Okay, this was.
That was the first tour after COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, I haven't heard that.
Andi, remember when you photoshopped pants on him?
Yeah.
There was a photographer there, and we got all these promo shots, and it was like me in gym shorts. And I would wear gym shorts if it was warm here. Now that's my life, but I don't wear them on stage because I'm not that good.
I'm watching the video. I'm like, is this one of the? Is this? Am I getting my stories wrong? But still, like, everything is waist up for you. I'm like, maybe it is, and like I'm watching it like this Zapruder film, and like, yeah.
It's
so.
just a thong. I'm wearing a thong. There's little baby puppies running around my feet while I'm playing.
The uncensored version. So some of the sounds that I hear as I take this away. Number one, you in the bio, it calls out a lot of different types of music, like drone, doom, post rock, grunge, hardcore, all of those things. The things that I think jump out at me, first of all, when I first put on the record, there's a riff and a vibe that kind of reminds me of King Buffalo, until the riff comes in and the rhythm and you just start kind of crushing it. Not that King Buffalo can't get heavy, but there's something sonically that I heard that went in a different direction than what I thought it was with that initial riff. But a lot of what I'm hearing, like, for example, I think it's Be Still. No, it's Now or Never. That sounds like the Pixies to me. Am I crazy? Like, are you guys Pixies fans? And
that song in particular, I was going for like a Kim Gordon sound. B-52's Kim Gordon. So that is in the realm of Pixies as well. So you're definitely not off on that.
I love it. And I listened to like Be Still, and it, to me, that's where that I hear some of that grunge come out. I think when Christian sings,
Yeah.
I'm always hearing the hardcore part of sometimes when with Christian's delivery on his vocals. If we look at Now or Never, are you guys harmonizing, Andi and Kelsey, on the vocals there, or is it Kelsey? Are you singing and then there's just like a little bit of like another vocal part, or is that just layered on top?
That's all Andi.
That's Andi sings that one. Okay.
Yeah. And Kelsey comes in
yeah, I say it's not me, and it's my favorite thing ever. I love it. Yeah.
I have to figure out the voices. As I listen to this more, I'll start to understand who does what. But do you split vocals a lot, or Andi, do you do more of the female vocals with Christian, or is it a three kind of split across the board?
I think that's the only one that I sing on this one. Yeah. So Kelsey and I sang it together at Serpentine together.
Okay.
We both had the same image in mind for that, which are the twins from Godzilla, Mothra.
Yeah. Mothra. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I think the only time that we sing together. But yeah, Now or Never's the only one that I sing on, and I think I do some.
She's doing the harmonies on Be Still.
Yeah.
And did we get you to do them on Edge too?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, she does the lower harmony on Edge. Yeah, we really busted out. We wanted to harmonize more, sing more. We wanted everybody to like have their time to shine, you know.
I love it. It's you can hear it. You're the way that the vocals are set up and the way that they're layered. I love it. And Christian, really digging your vocals, especially when you listen to Narrows. I think that's some of the best vocals that I've heard you do. Did you prepare anything different, or did you go into this differently when you're looking at how your vocals are going to sound, or what your approach was to singing on this one?
When we get in a room together, there's a different. It's weird because as we rehearse it, I almost like sing it different ways from the get-go all the way until we find that, till I find that spot or what it sounds like in a basement or garage or wherever the hell we're rehearsing, and then and then it's just interpreted in the studio and keep hammering it. I think from what I recall with that one, it didn't take too many takes. Sometimes I'm always that guy that's my biggest critic. So
we'll get it in one take, and then when he's got to go do it,
I've got to do it. And I end up usually picking the second or third take. It's rarely the first one, but it's like those first couple, and I'm like, I can do it better, you know. And there was one scenario where I did on Downfall where at the end it was like I tried it in the morning first thing and it was horrible. Then in the afternoon I was like, let me go get a little bottle of whiskey, and I sipped a little whiskey and I did this part at the end of it. And it was like they were both like in the studio going, that's the one.
Yeah, that was fun. That was one of my favorite parts of Downfall, is like all three of us are doing our own voices at the very end, and they all kind of just mesh together and become this one like monster of an emotion. And it's really special.
That song especially, I think, is the most complex like composition that I've heard from you guys, because there's so much going on. There's these tempo changes, there's just different kind of sounds. It gets doomy, it's kind of there's kind of a little bit of a vibe from the last record at the beginning of the song. Tell me about Downfall, because I think that's going to be a lot of people's favorite song on this record.
Well, I wrote Downfall. I think it's one of the first songs that I ever like wrote start to finish, because usually I'll bring something in and then the gang gets a hold of it and then we create something cool. It's more collaborative. But that one specifically, my brother passed away, so that's all about him, and it was a really hard time, and these two helped me get through it more than anything. Like, we went on tour right after it happened, and like, yeah, it was crazy. It was hard, but you know, some beautiful music came of it and good memories. So yeah,
you can hear the emotion in the song because there's so much going on, and there's like this kind of when it gets all like doomy and chunky towards like the second half of it, you can kind of feel the emotion to it, and it's amazing stuff. People are going to just love that song. And having a support structure around you when stuff like that happens. My dad passed away a few months ago, and like without the people around me, it would have been a nightmare. It would have been just this, this kind of void of despair. So having an outlet like that and having the people like these two, it sounds like was you're lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what I would have done without them for sure. So.
Amazing. People are going to just blow their minds. So musically, going into this, because I know when I talked to Christian last time, Temptress kind of started, and then the world went to shit like everybody else, and then you guys did what you could do, and there was a lot that went into it, and it's just amazing the creativity that came out of like the worst time on earth for the majority of the human race. So this time it was probably a lot different of how you approached this record. What was the approach? How did you go about this compared to kind of pandemic bands that a lot of bands wound up being inadvertently in 2019, 2020, 2021?
Well, I know like with our first album, we created the band, and we were like, we need an album, got to release an album. And we all kind of pulled songs that we had worked on for a long time, I have this for this project over here that never really panned out, I have this. And then we sat down and wrote a couple songs together and stuff. So we had all of these sources for those songs, and different times in our lives for those songs. Whereas like this album is us three only, and what we were going through in like recent times. So that's why there's so much emotion and so much feeling to this. I mean, there was in the other one too, but you can really tell that difference of like the heaviness or just us pouring ourselves into this. Whereas before it was like, hey, I wrote this song at a different time in my life, but I think it'll work, So it's two different places in our lives,
Oh yeah, I feel like we're completely different people than when we met.
And when we wrote the previous songs for whatever we were writing them for, like we've gone through so much, and it's just like, here's all our baggage, let's throw it into an album.
Right? Yeah, like our EP was like party time. Party time.
That's where we were at that time. This is like, we have mental health crisis, and we have loss, and we're trying to get sober. Like, let's throw it in an album.
Here you go, yeah.
You know that. It's a journey. This one's a journey, and so we start with into, and at the end it's out of. So it's the whole thing is just he wants down. It's the journey of what we went through. So,
Christian, you were saying something.
Let me let him out.
Yeah, I don't. Well, regarding that, it was very much that way. We definitely all when I met the girls, the EP, they pretty much had it. I wrote some of my own riffs in there, but it was like, we've got these songs, and we needed to spit some out just to get shows. We all knew people, but we still had to have something. We went and recorded a $300 demo with a buddy of mine that did some of my old band stuff. And spit it out, and it did what it was supposed to. It got us some shows. I knew Leanne from Metal Media. She did a small PR on it, and then off to the races. And then, like you said, COVID kicked us in the butt. We were just getting traction, and then during the COVID time, it was pretty much like a reboot. And like from the beginning of it, it was like, well, we're starting over again. And that's and then it's been a journey. But I was saying that Temptress turned 7 January 15th. As far as a band, I know the first time we ever practiced was January the 15th. 7 years.
Huh?
Yeah. Where's the time?
Where 7 in a month and a half or something.
It's just in time.
That's awesome. And yeah, just in time for the record to come out.
Our new record comes out.
Yeah, January 23rd. So it's a celebration for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
So you're on Blues Funeral now, which is very, very cool. Jad, really cool guy. I've had him on the show. Bands he's in, amazing. Bands on that label, amazing. What they do with the vinyl, amazing. What's it like being on Blues Funeral compared to doing this stuff yourself? Because you put the last record out, that was pretty much a self-released thing, right? And now you have a little bit of help. What's that like?
It's been fun. It's like we jumped into the professional world, and a lot of communication, learning the importance of communicating and getting stuff done on time, and making sure that we are presenting ourselves in the way we want to be presented, for sure. So I'm learning a lot.
Is great too. Like that's something we've struggled with previously, is like having someone who's working with us just there like every step, and if we have a question he's there. You know.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
Jed's super responsive, and he's super knowledgeable, and that's helped in a lot of aspects. And then just the whole community around it. And like we've almost at a point where we can call anybody about anything, and you know, and help. I had a call earlier today with a friend, just learning about some stuff coming up next year, just to pick his brain about you know, contacts and stuff, and it's there, and it makes life a lot easier.
Very cool. It's quite the little community, that this kind of genre that you guys are in, and those like labels that you know, they're all their own little thing, right? They're not this big thing, but when you're on Blue Stream compared to being self-released, it's a huge deal, right? It's a gigantic and very cool step to see that. And for vinyl nerds like me, I'm very excited. Though I pre-ordered, I do this all the time. I'm a member of the Post-Wax subscription, and get so excited when the band announces, I order the vinyl and then wind up forgetting that I have other splatter version coming. And then my wife's like, why do you have 4 different copies of this record? And I'm like, there's a lot of reasons, but like, you know, a lot of it's because I'm just not paying attention, and I get excited when things like this drop. I was watching the video of these walls. Very well done, and not that things you haven't done are not well done, but it's very classically shot in black and white. And I can't help but have Mick Jagger stare at me every now and then when there's certain shots. I hope he doesn't, you know, ask for any kind of royalties or anything like that. But tell us about the video, because it was very cool, and there seemed to be a very small but rabid fan base that were attending. So tell us about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, the small rabid fan base, those are our best friends in Dallas. They've been to, gosh, probably every close to every Temptress show. They're personal friends. We asked them to come be our crowd and be our support and give us some energy while we record this. It was all done at Deep Ellum. Texas Jam is a rehearsal space in Dallas, and we use their Deep Ellum location. Also great friends of ours, and they were there. They support us, and yeah, they've just known us for the longest, man. They were there in like 2018. Some of them know me and Andy's old band too, so everybody was there.
And for me, I like what I wanted from the video. Like our previous videos were very cinematic, which was a lot of fun to shoot, but it's a lot. That was a lot. I had been watching a lot of classic MTV, the metal and rock videos that they have from like the 80s and 90s, and it was all kind of like that, you know, like live shot with these like slow-mo parts, and then like I loved the black and white. It just made it feel kind of like vintage, like older. So I had been watching a lot of those videos, and I was like, you know what, it would be really cool to shoot something like that, because to me this song kind of has like an old school sound to it. So I was like, that's what I had envisioned for
Love
this,
it.
the black and white like that.
Andy calling me old without actually calling me old. That's just what happened.
Cool.
That song that went, "Heaven Isn't Too Far Away," started through my mind while y'all.
Yeah, totally a Warrant video. That's totally a Warrant video. Oh, that.
I was thinking like Pantera, like, because I don't remember which Pantera it is, but it was like black and white, and they were live, and like all the Dallas scene people were there, and they were going crazy. So
that might be the Cowboys from Hell video, if I'm remembering correctly. It's fun. Like, as someone who has not seen you play, it's fun to see you guys in action. And Andy, do you usually play with no shoes? So you're a no shoe drummer. Interesting.
I am, because I used to. Back in the day, I would play a show and I'd have to switch my shoes because I wear boots a lot, and I would switch to like Vans or something, and then it got to the point where I was like, why am I even doing this? I need to start playing without shoes, because then I don't have to switch my shoes. So it was more just a practical thing of let me just start playing with socks, and then one less thing I have to tote around in the band.
So if you had to play with shoes on, would it be weird, or would you be able to adjust quickly? Because I feel like...
Yeah, I could probably start again with Vans or something, but I'm pretty fast. I play single pedal, so I like that slickness of my sock as opposed to like the grip of a shoe, because I'm doing everything with one pedal. So I could learn again, but meh.
It's just fun. I just happened to notice that watching the video, and I'm like, interesting.
Like,
I didn't know if that was for effect or if that was... This is my first sock conversation on the show, so we're breaking new ground here. Speaking of playing live, you guys have announced some tour dates and some other things. What do you guys got going on live? I'm very excited and hoping that at some point you hit my neck of the woods here in Central Florida, but there are some things that have been announced so far. What do you guys got going on from a tour standpoint?
Christian knows it all.
Yeah. More than I do.
The first leg of the first tour is going west. We're trying to stay below the frost line because of the time of the year, so we're not crossing the Oregon Pass on that one. And then we're basically doing a big figure 8 down through the, and then you'll see the second half of the 8 coming up soon. We're going to have another announcement as soon as we're told to do so, but there's a leg 2 that's going to be below the frost line as well, and you can paint that however you want to paint it. When they're ready for us to announce it, it'll be out. By the time this airs, it's probably going to be out. So hi, y'all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Been any cymbal tour.
This is actually I'm dropping this tomorrow, just so you know. So so we will not know right away. I can hope that Florida winds up somewhere below the frost line. That is my hope for.
If not, then we're in trouble. I mean,
yeah.
If
The way the weather is these days, dude, you might have the ice cap down there now.
You don't know. You really don't know. And it's very interesting. Moving from, I was in South Florida, now I'm in Central. There's a huge difference. Like, I had to go buy, like, clothes. I'm like, this is not right. It's actually cold here. So that's a whole other story. So hoping, who are you guys playing with on do you have a tour partner in this particular?
The first leg, no. We're all just running with the thing. The second leg, yes, we have some for about 80 or 90% of those dates, and that'll be announced along with that part of
Excellent. And I just want everyone to realize that I'm a responsible journalist. And if I know something and I'm not saying it on this, you understand why, because I'm a responsible journalist doing these podcasts with my air quotes. And I assume, have you guys played these songs yet? Out, or have you worked these live already? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this is.
Love them. We've done.
Yeah.
3 of them, I think, live. And one, you mentioned Now or Never, and we did that on
Taos.
We did it in Taos, New Mexico, and in Temptress's whole. I'd call me out if I'm wrong, but I can recall 3 times where we got basically cheered into an encore, and that was one of them. To like, we played Taos, New Mexico, and we're like, let's try this song live and see how it pervades. And we're in this small town. It's a great place to play, but yeah, they went crazy for that song. It was amazing.
Yeah, that song rules.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't know about an encore, but after I played a whole set, and then they're like, "Hey, play the song and sing at the end of the set." But
We got one song left, literally.
The only show we played this fall that we get was the third encore I think we ever had. I remember having one back in the day, and then Taos, and then our last show at Hawthorne Theater, I was like, we actually played an encore because people wouldn't shut up about it. So,
Yeah.
Love it.
It's cool.
Yeah, you guys have. I mean, you had an EP and a full album before, and some of those songs were long, so it would, you could probably fill up a set. So, are we looking at half and half, new record and some of the old stuff, or are we looking mostly focusing on the new record and making sure you play Serpentine if and when you play Florida at some point?
I think new album. Yeah, we're gonna play most. I would say all new album. Yeah, we're gonna really focus on it.
I think we'll go down, do the first week and see what grabs and what bites. From my perspective, I always look at the crowd, and if it's like, we had one of those on C, and it happens to be, I'm not going to name the song, but it's my favorite song, and that was the song where people went and took a piss and got a beer. And I'm like, that's the, when you're looking at
bands these days, man.
I know, but when you're
They got
looking at
that
cutting a
brain.
song and bringing a different one in, you're like crowd retention in a live scenario. So, well, I will watch the crowd and judge it on that and see how it goes. If we have to, a week or two down the road, if we have to pull one out, to pull one in. But we're headlining. To my knowledge, most of the tours where we're headlining will be allotted enough time to play at least one from C, maybe two, and do our full album. But at the
We
same
should just
time,
play
we
a
don't
minute
like
of every song.
don't go
on
pee
both
while we're
albums.
playing. Just don't sit while we're playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's an hour for crowd. If you can't hang for an hour,
You can't hang. Yeah, what 37 minutes?
Exactly. I had a question and then I lost it because I was thinking about having to go to the bathroom and if I had to do that during any sets lately. I will. Yeah, probably. I don't think so. I don't think so. Are you a band that you know all your songs? So if you have to pivot and you have to like say, okay, this is the set tomorrow, you guys are pretty much, because I know a lot of bands who have to prep those and they can't just jump in and say, oh, we're going to do this song tomorrow. They have to go and actually prepare for that. Are you guys like ready? If Christian says we're going to do this song,
Yeah,
you guys,
we're ready.
When we meet up, we practice everything, so to make sure, and we do switch this. I know that at least the last tour, we were switching it like
every night.
Yeah,
I was. I'm a big grateful
for everybody every night.
Yeah, Andy's out there writing them on the tiniest piece of paper. They're all in my pedal board. And then if we didn't have one, I'd dig one out of the pedal board, and we're doing this tonight. And I'm a big Grateful Dead fan. I know Christian is as well. And I was like, we should just do a different set every single night. Just different. I want to switch it up.
We could.
And
my favorite bands do that too. Like you're going to get a couple of things that you expect. But two bands that I love are Clutch. You're going to get a few Clutch songs, but Clutch is going to play a different set mostly every night. It's gone a little bit more similar lately, but they used to just play whatever. And another band I love in the indie rock territory is a band called Guided by Voices, and you just never know what the hell they're going to pull out. And I love that. I love that spontaneity. I love that I can look at the set list from the night before and have no idea what I'm going to get. I mean, a relative idea, but there'll be surprises. I went to a punk show, and I used punk with air quotes. I went to go see AFI with my buddy, and I was standing behind. I'm just standing there, and they had the TV screen, like the computers at the board, and right where I was standing, I saw the songs that they were going to play, and I'm like, this is no fun. Like I can literally see what song is coming up next, and they obviously know it's a very choreographed kind of deal, and I tend to enjoy the more spontaneous, at least spontaneous seeming, types of live engagement. So I think that's really cool that you guys can just pull out whatever you need to when you need to. And how about covers? Any covers that somebody might call out and you'll be like, ready to go?
I've been advocating for us to at least have one, but you're going to have to get him on board for that.
Yeah,
because I've been begging for at least
you need
one
to get
or
the
two.
venues on board to let us play more than 30 minutes.
That's true.
When you're on a tour and you're playing, we have to prepare for a 20-minute set, a 25-minute set, a 30-minute set, a 35-minute set. Anywhere from 25 minutes to an hour, depending on if it's a festival with 12 bands that starts at 3 in the afternoon, or an evening with Temptress on a Friday night that's only got 2 openers or 1 opener, and we've got all the time in the world. Sure, we'll play our whole catalog and we'll take an intermission in between and go pee with everybody else. But it's like time is kind of the thing, and it's like, I'm cool if it's the right. One thing too is the three of us, we are very similar in our musical taste and very broad, so finding something, I know we could nail a cover, that's not a problem, but it's nailing a cover is one thing, and then I'm a guy that I listen to cover songs, and it's very rare anybody ever tops the original. And if I'm going to do something, or even comes close, but if I'm going to do something like that, I want to be amazing at it. Like I really want to bring a different element and make it my own. I'm not trying to copycat light my fire by the Doors and make it sound like the Doors. You know what I mean? I'd want
It's
to
fun though, like in a live
scream
setting.
it like Idols or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in a live setting though, you got all the drunk people. If you bust into a cover, even if you play a little bit of it, people go crazy. I mean,
Right.
I do. If a band I'm watching plays like even a little bit of a cover, I'm like, that was awesome.
So Andi sounds like she has ideas. What would you pitch? What would you pitch if you had?
No, a
That
couple.
one that we talked about this last tour, I forgot that Asian food place.
Kodo, man, I gotta tell you about Kodo later.
We talked about Joy Division.
Oh,
because Christian said
interesting.
that he would do that.
I'll
So
do Joy Division.
I'm not going to say the song.
I think we could hit Dean Curtis stuff.
Yeah, you can. It's hard to sing.
We also learned Only Shallow.
That's true.
And that was amazing. That was a lot of fun to play.
A lot of people may not even know that. They might think it's ours anyway. So.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm also amazed at all the bands that I talk to in the heavy stuff who are deadheads. Like, I there is a lot more of that than I realized, and I'm a casual fan. I actually got dragged. Oh, there it is. I got dragged to the Sphere, and I got to see Dead and Company.
You went to the Sphere?
I did. I had a work thing, and my buddy's like, "We're going to go," and I'm like, "Casual fan, but I'm going to go," and it was awesome. And then I had to admit that John Mayer's good, and like it was a whole thing. It was a little bit painful, but it was very trippy and very cool. I'm just amazed at how many Deadheads there are in, or at least like the really big Dead fans in like heavy underground, doom, stoner, whatever we're calling ourselves here. Do you come across a lot of other Deadheads? And do they ever? I mean, is that
absolutely. I saw one the other day. Well, yeah,
it's like a
UFO. It's a band that I think y'all did an interview with, or maybe Scott did an interview with. It was Black Moon Cult.
Yeah. We probably have both talked to them. Yeah.
Their guitarist has a huge Deadhead thing on his guitar, and I was like, all right, it's psychedelic music, you know. So
yeah,
it makes a lot more sense on psychedelics.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so
that's what somebody said that to me. Oh, it was about Pink Floyd. They're like, "You don't like Pink Floyd?" I'm like, "I'm a casual fan." They're like, "Take mushrooms," and it was the drummer from Black Sabbath. She's like, "Take mushrooms and listen, then come back to me, and we'll have that conversation." Caleb from Black Moon Cult is the most intimidating to talk to, only because his music knowledge is so off the charts for a kid. I want to say kid his age. Like the shit he was talking about was. It was blowing my mind. He's like, yeah, I had Rat Out of the Cellar in my CD player in my truck. I'm like, how old are you? And Rat Out of the Cellar, and you're a Warren DeMartini fan? What's happening? Like, what alternate universe am I living in here?
Hey, tunes are good tunes.
Exactly. I just didn't expect it. And he had a Christmas sweater on. It was a great interview. Listen to it if you have a second. Really, really cool band. Speaking of, Christian, I do a show with a guy who you are playing in a unnamed project with Jay from Holy Roller. Is that still a thing? What's going on with that? I try to bug Jay and say, what's going on? Do you have a vocalist? What are you guys doing? Is this still a thing? You know, I'm very intrigued.
Three dudes that play in bands that are all out of town, so it gives us an excuse to get together twice a week and play 4 hours, 2 hours on a Tuesday and Thursdays typically, and make different kinds of music than any of our other bands. We're all three similar aged and totally different influences, and it comes out pretty fucked up, which I kind of like Temptress music. I love what I do with these two because of our influences, but at the same time, when I listen to our music, and I've listened to our new album so much, I just want to play it. I don't want to listen to it anymore. But God, spare my ears. We've listened to it a minute. The stuff that we do, and I feel the same way about those guys in a totally different fashion. But it's like I can't pin it exactly. It kind of, especially our new record is a little bit of a lot of things that I like and love. And what I do with them is a different thing and a different kind of music it's more proggy and heavier sludgy. We don't even have a vocalist. Right now it's just an instrumental thing. We've got about 25 minutes of really heavy, fucked up music. It'll go from like hardcore, like 80s beat down hardcore to like just the sludgiest, like you feel like you're gonna shit your pants. The bottom drops out like.
That's what I want.
I like this.
Real feel good.
And the whole thing, like, you know what I mean? It might kind of droop. I hate to call it droopy, but it's like, yeah, it's fucked up, but it's cool. I hope people dig it if it ever sees the light of day. But it's an outlet.
Unnamed project. There's your name.
Unnamed project. I just named it for you. Yeah.
You don't want to know what I wanted to name it, and like, we got voted down. I was like, I was gonna do something that would piss off half of our country, so I wasn't. You know where my mind's at. Like,
you have another band to worry about to
we can't do that. Or one of them said we can't do that. And I'm like, we played in that band. You know what I mean? When the guy from the other guy in our band, but I'm like that when that guy's telling you the name's fucked up, and I'm knowing where he came from, and I'm like, you fucking kidding me, dude. The titles of the songs he wrote in the '90s, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah.
I feel like you could get somebody like Mike Patton to sing in what you described, and it might actually wind up being a wonderful thing. I would love to have him on the show. Mike, if you're listening, get off the tour with the Avett Brothers and come, come chill with us. One of the things that I took away, I think, from the first interview I did with Christian is just like how cool and how excited he was to play with you guys, and how he told me that it was just like this like magical thing when the three of you got together. And I just thought that was so cool, and I'm so glad to see and hear how this new record came out, because you can hear it. You can hear that there's something special when the three of you guys get together, and it was a very cool moment on the show. Christian, you probably don't remember saying that, but I'm pretty sure that you feel that, and you probably would reiterate that now as we're talking.
I know that when we're on, we're fucking on, and we're not off much, and when we're off, it sucks. And I'll take blame on it 90% of the time.
And nobody else knows when we're off.
And I'm my own worst critic. I'm the guy walking off stage who's like, well, that was fun, and I'm like, God damn it, I missed this note, or I didn't hit that high. But yeah, I know sometimes I feel it. I mean, I feel it with them sometimes in a live setting, and even in a practice room, it's kind of magical. And that's what I like about practice. Like the song we were talking about, Kelsey synth stuff, that particular track is not anything we ever wrote. We literally went in the fucking studio with the synth that day, and Andy started a drum beat, and I started a bass line, and it just bloomed into what the fuck you heard. It was, we've had like, and we were fucking around with that riff and the intro riff a bunch, but it's its own baby, and we still do. We're going to do the intro riff probably on this upcoming tour, but it's probably going to change every night because it's a total improv thing. We know like the root notes, and I know Andy's beat, but we don't know how long it's going to be, where it's going to go. You know,
that's our psychedelic jam sesh.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's not too far off from your love of a band like the Dead, who just kind of starts out, and next thing you know, you're 20 minutes into one of those tracks.
Yeah, you're right.
Put on a 40-minute Dark Star right now.
Just, it's a different band, a different vibe, but that's why I love a band like the Velvet Underground, and I grab all of their live stuff, because like Sister Ray never comes out the same. It could be like a 12-minute version, it could be a 60-minute version, and just whatever Lou Reed and they all felt at that time is what's going to come out of that, which is kind of an exciting way to listen to music. I want to just ask you before I go, I want to ask you just about your influences and who you would call out as some of the coming up and starting to learn how to play and listen to music, who you loved and who you kind of looked at. Andy, I'll start with you just from a drumming standpoint, if you have someone in mind.
For me, it was all about when I was a early teenager grunge. I loved Nirvana, I loved Soundgarden, and 90s alternative all around. So I remember very specifically printing off drum music for Smashing Pumpkins 1979. So that was a song that's very like ingrained in my mind, because that was like the first song I decided to learn on a full kit, because I had played previously in school band. But yeah, 90s alternative and grunge was big, and 80s alternative as well. Those were very influential in me playing music. and what I listen to this day.
Very cool. Yeah, Jimmy Chamberlain from the Pumpkins on those first 2 records are some of the stuff he does, especially on Gish and Simon's Dream. I mean, just the guy is.
He doesn't get enough credit for being as technical as he is. Like you'll hear Neil Peart and Danny Carey and stuff, but when it comes to him, the stuff he plays is insane.
Yeah, Billy's big personality took over that whole band, but like you listen to the drums on Siamese Dream, it's just it's amazing, I love that. That's right in my wheelhouse, all that stuff. Kelsey, how about you? What would you call it? Any specific influences that kind of you would maybe somebody maybe would not we wouldn't expect maybe?
Well, okay. Well, the main one, Mark Morton from Lamb of God. I love Lamb of God. I learned how to play so many songs during COVID. I think Andy heard me playing Lamb of God all the time. And
that
so
comes to mind when I think of like your influences too.
Yeah. So early in like high school, well, I've been playing for a long time. I started with classical music, but when I started learning like rock and roll and metal, it was Lamb of God, Jimmy Page, a Jim Croce to go on the softer side. And then, then it just kind of took off into the metal direction. So I'll try to learn In Flames, All That Remains, so many All That Remains songs, As I Lay Dying. Yeah. Just power metal. Wow. I love metal a lot. And, a little bit of Slayer, Metallica, throw that in there. I was like 13 or 14 on an MSN chat, and I put my Line 6 combo next to a microphone and was playing Metallica, Master of Puppets, and just seeing if anybody in MSN chat was like, rock on, or whatever. And so metal, classical, rock and roll.
Very cool. Might be the first Lamb of God mentioned on this show. I don't think anybody calls them out, which is very cool. I tend to hear more people who come from like a punk background or a hardcore background, and now they're doing some other stuff. I love hearing the metal side of it, because I don't hear enough people do that. And like Mark Morton, insanity. Some of the stuff that he does. I got to see them play once. I think like Slayer's final tour, I think it was like Amon Amarth and Lamb of God and Slayer, and just watch him. And he's an interesting guy too. I follow him on the socials, he's a very, very interesting guy.
He's great. If you listen to Into My Soul, that breakdown in Into My Soul, that's straight up Lamb of God ripoff. Not in like a tech, like it's just their technical, like how their technique. So. Yeah.
Very cool. Christian, I'm not going to ask you the same question, but I'm going to ask you to tell me a band that I might not expect that was something that you love to this day, that maybe you loved back in the day. I'm putting you on the spot here, but this is how I learn about music, from people who were in it and things that I might have missed.
The Cure.
Well, love The Cure. And do you bring some of the Cure to your writing today? I feel like you might, from an atmospheric standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I do more so. I feel like I'm more that guy with an acoustic guitar in my hand in the privacy of my own home, because I'm self-conscious about crooning, even though people are like, "Oh, you do that good." Then sometimes I'll try the shit, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm like, I'm punk rock, grew up, but like proper like. I'm getting better about being not so self-conscious on stage, vocally speaking, anyway.
I'd love to.
And I'm not. It's not that I'm self-conscious. It's just when I hear myself. Anytime I hear myself on video or on album, it's like, again, I can always do better. But
I had a conversation with Nacho from Mazoa, and we had a Morrissey conversation, because he and his band did a cover of. A really good Morrissey song, and I'm a huge Morrissey fan. Musically, you can talk about the person all you want in other ways, but I will tell you that I love the Smiths and love Morrissey, and I think there's a lot of people in the music we listen to who are also Smiths and Morrissey fans, but might not want to say that out loud, because it doesn't necessarily push, this heavy riff-filled music that you guys play, but like from a melodic standpoint and from a lyric standpoint, I hear people who are Morrissey and Smiths fans and The Cure and things like that. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm into whatever I'm into. I'm not hiding that. It's just, influential wise, I don't know. My background doesn't portray. You wouldn't think I was a Cure head of looking back at my bands prior, I guess is what you would say.
I think that's why I always ask. It seems like an easy and hacky question, but I just love to hear how people got to where they are from an art standpoint, because I can't do it. I have no ability in that. So I'm just like a fanatic listener. So I always love to kind of see how things morphed and how things kind of built into that.
I love Motown music so much. Like around the house in the morning, I've got a bunch of old records that belong to my parents, and like I listen to the Mamas and Papas and Four Tops and James Brown and Diana Ross and all that shit. At 9 a.m. in the morning drinking coffee and shit. Who the fuck would look at me and be like, that dude's listening to Diana Ross right now?
Love it.
Dude,
that's why I purposely throw my love for Duran Duran in everyone's face. Everyone, you guys have no idea. And if you talk shit about Duran Duran, listen to John Taylor's bass lines, and then we can have a conversation about that. But yeah, anyway, I digress. I've kept you guys longer than I promised, but what I want to say is, number one, thank you. This is the second year in a row that I have a band on in November, December, that I have the album that's coming out in January that I can honestly say will be an album of the year contender in the next year. Every interview is better with a cat or a dog. This is a proven fact on my show. So love kitties showing up. The new record is called Here. It comes out on January 23rd. It's on Blues Funeral. The band is touring. We're hoping for a Florida date, but you're definitely going to get a West under the frost line date somewhere that you can drive to within a couple of hours. And as someone lucky enough to have heard the whole record a bunch of times, you guys are going to love it. It's amazing, and it's next level stuff. And I think people are going to be blown away. So congratulations for that. I can't wait for people to hear it. Like, I know you guys are probably itching for everybody to hear it. Still got a little while to go yet. But just congratulations, because it's amazing. And I can't wait for it to drop, and just good luck to all you guys. And I hope I get to meet you face to face at some unnamed potential show in Central Florida.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Really.
Thank you guys.